Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love is Blind Season 8, The Reunion.
Listen here, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Blair, the letter grade for the season will be
D.
I go D plus.
Okay.
I go D plus. Mm-hmm. Maybe even E.
Ooh, goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe E. You ready?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this, please.
All right. So Daniel and Taylor are still married.
Yeah.
They speak of the positives about each other, what they love about each other. We see clips of their year together. He didn't get the Taco Bell tattoo, but he did get a tattoo of her eyes on his chest.
That's weird. And I think his tattoo is supposed to be Chick-fil-A. The thing about him is that
No, Taco Bell.
No, she got Taco Bell.
Oh, he was gonna get Chick-fil-A.
And he was gonna get Chick-fil-A,
okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Daniel, there's still time. You don't have to get that tattoo. Don't do it. Listen here. Don't let Taylor bad decisions of getting a Taco Bell on her inner lip be your bad decision. You already made a major one by getting her eyes on your chest. I saw the tattoo and I was like, I guess. You get what I'm saying? But hey, good for y'all. You went from being a potential stalker to being the love of her life. You get what I'm saying? Good for y'all.
So we get into Devon and Virginia.
Uh-oh.
She was conflicted when it came down to her choice.
Uh-oh.
She loves Devon a lot, but they weren't in alignment about core values.
Yeah.
There were some things that he didn't want to discuss on camera, and she doesn't feel comfortable talking about his views, but she goes down the list of her views, which is that she supports the LGBTQ rights, abortion rights, and different religions should be valued. She also has a diverse group of family. Some of her family members are Muslim.
Okay.
Devon can look past certain things and not completely agree on everything in a relationship. As a Christian, he loves everyone.
Okay.
Nick says, well, you knew about some of those things prior to the prenup. Was there something that happened after the prenup? Virginia says she saw a note from an ex-girlfriend on his nightstand and there was no mention of the girl. Devon explains that he doesn't see her as an ex because it's one of his best friends. The person she's with now is in his wedding party. The letter was about her being happy that he found Virginia. And Virginia also did meet her. Virginia talks about how his mom told her that a family member gifted him a check. Devon didn't tell Virginia about the check. He was saying that he was holding on to it until after they got married.
Okay.
Virginia got a gift for him specific to his likes. She asked him to come down and help. He came down begrudgingly and said that she could have got it herself.
That's crazy.
Devon said that she is still a great person. He doesn't resent her. Virginia didn't feel love or respect from him in the past year. He stopped talking to her after the wedding. She called him. He stopped answering the phone calls and he told everyone that she ghosted him. Molly and Madison were saying, that's what you told us at the bar. He said y'all was drunk boots and I didn't tell y'all that. Every time they talked, it was some type of arguing about what happened during their time together.
Yeah. Devon always had an avoided personality.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody said something in the comments. Oh, I wish I can remember it, but it was so perfect the way they put it in words. I'm gonna try to paraphrase, but I'm gonna try to find this comment. It was basically something across the lines of Devon is acting like someone that's supposed to Devon's acting like someone who I can't even do it justice. Look, I'm just gonna put it right here. Like, look at it right here, and this is what it said, and I was like, that was perfect. Here's the thing about Devon, right? Devon has a very avoided personality. I can 100% believe that he ghosted. Talking to Virginia. Truth be told, I'm actually confused about the whole if you say no to me at the altar, why are we still talking after the altar and things of that nature? Especially since Virginia basically volunteered her values and things of that nature, things that I agree with. She basically told us what he doesn't believe in by saying what she believes in, right? Like, I'm not gonna say what his values are, but I tell you mine, right? So I found that to be very interesting. And even Nick said, well, you kind of knew that. So what was basically the breaking point? And it was the note on the nightstand from the ex, which he said, I don't view her as an ex. That's that avoidant thing, personality right there. Like, even if she's an ex, period. Even if she is a good friend, that doesn't take away the fact that she's an ex, right? I understand that she may be with somebody else, but I understand that you should at least be forthcoming with that, especially if you got them both in the same room meeting each other and things of that nature. Now, I wish that Vanessa and Nick would have asked a follow-up question about that wedding money, right? Of asking the question. He said, hey, I was keeping the money for us to open it after our wedding.
He didn't even say that.
Right? Or what did he say?
He said he was keeping the check until after the wedding.
To after the wedding, right? I would have asked, okay, the wedding didn't happen, the marriage didn't happen. Did you give the check back? That's what I would have asked. What is your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with you that Devon is he seems like a very avoidant person.
Yeah.
And I think that Virginia did do her best in trying to have certain conversations with him. I still felt like there were deeper depths that they could have went to.
Yeah.
And she might have, I feel like, should have pushed him a little bit, but at the same time, is that her responsibility to push a grown man to talk? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I do feel like with Devon, he's the biggest issue. I think the core values was the big issue, but I think the even bigger issue is that he wasn't very forthcoming and that he skirts around a lot of issues. And if you can't face things head on, like, how are you really going to be a partner in a marriage? So,
yeah. Can I reach?
Sure.
I'm going to reach in the first segment. I think he messed up by allowing his mom into the marriage.
Agreed.
A lot, right? I think a lot of his influence probably come from his mom, probably come from his family, because I remember what the mother was basically saying inside that truck, and like the sister inside the truck when, you know, she said no, and then, you know, they had to deal with the fallout of Virginia saying no. It was basically giving off the attitude of, you know, how dare her say no to our Devon? You get what I'm saying? Meanwhile, her father, Virginia's father, is hugging Devon, talking about, you still a good man, right?
Yeah.
It just felt like the mom was very, you know, kind of upset. And granted, she has every right to feel upset and things of that nature. But I will say, hey, the minute that Devon said, hey, I'm going to have my mom look over the prenup, and just little things as the mother coming up saying, hey, my coworker or boss gave Devon a check and things like that. I just felt like she was just too much in the mix. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just like, that's kind of off-putting, at least for me.
I guess my question to you is, you know, since we did that conversation about Brittany and her talking about how he was a mama's boy, do you feel like she was right in saying that now?
No.
And why not?
No, because saying that you're an immature mama's boy, I think she was attaching that to the reaction that she got from him for when she basically said, hey, I had experience with the same sex, right? I think with Brittany, it came off as resentful. Mind you, Virginia dealt with the guy,
right?
And she ain't calling him a mama's boy and things like that. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling him, I'm not even calling him mama. I just think like, hey, you should just fall back from letting your mother into your marriage, and that involves looking at the prenup and even giving her opinion about things of that nature. Because even little things like when he was saying, when she first presented the prenup, what would you say when people ask? And he's talking about his mother, and like because of the conversation they had in front of the pig.
Well, what are you gonna say when they ask you, Devon?
Right. So and that's what I'm saying. It's like,
because what do you actually?
I'm
think?
like, it has nothing to do with what people think or what your family think. What do you think, Devon? And that's why I think ultimately why Virginia did not marry Devon and things like that.
And I feel like Brittany was wrong for saying that as well. And and I just want to put it out there that clearly the cast talks. The women talk. And so I feel like Brittany could have gathered that information probably through conversations with Virginia. So I wouldn't be wrong for saying that maybe Virginia has had certain, and this is totally reaching, so I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia may have had conversations with Brittany about like, oh my goodness, girl, and his mom, and you know, and things like that, and then Brittany being the one who comes out and actually says it in like a public platform, when it's really just kind of like, well, Brittany, it really wasn't your place to say based off of your interactions with him. That's not something you would know firsthand. And if that is something that is true, then that would be Virginia's place to say if she felt that.
That is true. That is true. I agree.
So moving on, Sarah and Ben.
Ben
says that he knows that he has had privilege his life and he is not proud of it.
Stop right there.
Yes.
We already start offline. I've never, listen here.
He said before y'all get the pitchforks.
Exactly. And this is why like whole time though, like Ben, you about to make yourself look like trash, right? Because truth be told, we already thought you was trash, but you over here coming out with the whole PC PR. Like, first of all, I just want to say, as a guy, I realize my privilege and I am embarrassed by it, and I am disgusted by my privilege. First of all, let me be honest with y'all. Anybody who tells you that they are embarrassed or disgusted by their own privilege, they lying to your face.
Yeah.
They are everybody have their own version of privilege, right? No one felt bad for me when I was standing in line outside the club and the guy said all the girls get in for $10 and the guys get in for $40.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's privilege. You get what I'm saying? No girl said I'm disgusted by this. Let the guys in. Guess what? The same way as Ben may have privilege and things of that nature as being a heterosexual, because he was talking about that in front of her sister and her partner. And as a white male, Sarah had privilege over Blair, and Blair has privilege over me. Everybody have their own privilege. So to come out on some, you know what, I feel bad about my privilege, I already can tell everything that Ben about to say out his mouth is disingenuous off top. You get what I'm saying?
He's embarrassed the way their conversations went about the social issues. He says it's sad that it took someone else to make him think that way.
You still ain't think that way.
Nick says to Sarah, or asks her, when you accepted his proposal, were you willing to overlook his social stance? Sarah said that she knows that they're human, they evolve with time. She wanted to have an open discussion. The problem is that out of the pods, things never progressed. He had a lack of curiosity, and it felt like she didn't know him very well.
I'm not putting that on Ben. I'm really not putting that on Ben. Nick asked a great question.
That was the question I was hoping that would be asked.
Ben asked a great question, and her basically out of all the fluff, she said, people human and stuff like that. I will hope that it will pique his curiosity when I say this buzzword BLM, and he would ask more questions. Well, he told you his answer,
right?
And his answer would tell you that it did not pique his that it would not pique his curiosity. But if it really mattered to you, how are you going to bring something up initially and then leave it up to the other person to basically carry the baton? That's not how it goes, Sarah. But I will continue talking at the end of the scene.
Ben said that she just wanted him to ask the questions and be involved, and he should have done it. Nick says, well, you couldn't remember your church's stance on gay marriage.
Yeah.
Ben didn't remember because he didn't need to know. It didn't apply to him. He wasn't at that sermon, or maybe it just didn't hit home.
Okay.
He also didn't remember the girl on TikTok. Sarah explains that there were a lot of comments there. She chose to trust Ben. Now the TikTok makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
She had hoped that they could work things out after the wedding day.
Yeah.
She had a travel nurse position that she had to finish out for 3 months in Nashville. He came out. The plan was for him to come out to where she was for like 1 to 2 weeks. And in Nashville, once she got to Nashville, he removed her from Find My Friends.
Yeah.
She thought he would be in Nashville that next week with her. She texted him. He sent 3 scripted apologies. She didn't hear from him for a month and a half after that. Apparently, he spoke to a cast member who told him to be on good terms with her and practice reunion questions together. And that's when he reached out a couple weeks back. Sarah said that was the last time they spoke.
Wow. Ben
didn't want to throw anyone under the bus when it came to them asking who was the previous cast member. And Sarah tells us it was Jimmy.
Out of all the people, Jimmy? Okay.
Ben says his understanding was that they were broken up before she left. He made sure that she just got there safely, and that's when he turned off the Find My Friends.
Yeah.
He says during breakups, he usually just cuts the person off. He apologized because she said that she didn't like it. He did talk to Jimmy to figure out how things worked after this, basically what happens at the reunion.
Yeah.
Sarah says, you dropped me the day that I left. You did say rehearsed, and we talked about you coming down and staying with me in Nashville. And he is saying, like, we talked about it throughout the week, but that last conversation we had, it seemed like we were done. Yeah. But Sarah feels like she was love bombed. So pretty much my thoughts about the situation.
Help me.
I think that Ben is full of it.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that he might have made some promises and filled her up with certain ideas. And once she was out of sight, out of mind, he says, all right, I ain't got to work no more. And then when he, realized, I got to make sure that I still look and present a certain way. Now let's try to get on the same page, Sarah. And the thing is, like, Sarah doesn't appear to be stupid. So she peeped what he was trying to do. And she was like, I'm not about to do this. I'm going to be honest about where we stand and what has transpired.
Yeah.
So,
and truth be told, like, it makes, as Sarah said, hey, now I can believe the girl in the TikTok about how you ghosted her, because you did the exact same thing to me, right? But I would say ghosting is not a crime. Now, Sarah, I'm going to talk about you just for a second, right? Because I got a lot of comments on the last video that we did, Blair, about Sarah and her beliefs and things like that, and I've been calling her fake and a fraud, and how she's dog whistling and using all these buzzwords and things of that nature, and I still feel that way, right? Because my issue with Sarah is that we knew Ben was trashy from the pods. You knew Ben was trashy from the pods, right? We made a video basically talking about how being a fiance is greater than BLM, right? To where I basically was just poking fun at Sarah. I remember when I first watched the episode that she brought up BLM, and me and my wife didn't watch that episode together, and I said, Sarah is my sister from another mister, right? And my wife said, wait a second, right?
I said, keep watching.
Keep watching. And literally the next episode, you dropped the social issues that was important to you, right? You dropped the social issues that was important to you and accepted a proposal from someone that did not trick you, right? And then when it was time for you to answer again, do you want to be married and things of that nature, you picked up the social issues again. And in the car, you basically said, how can someone live in this city and not know anything about BLM and George Floyd, and he's anti-vaccine, and he's all these things, and the rights and his stance with his church and things of that nature, just to find out that you still live with him 2 weeks after your decision.
Yes, it's given very flip-floppy.
Oh yes,
and picking up and dropping issues when it's convenient.
And that's my issue, right? My thing is, hey, you can use your privilege to help the cause for human rights and human decency. I'm all for it. But my issue is you pick it up and drop it whenever you want to. I don't have that privilege, right? When it comes, especially to BLM, I can't say, you know what, Blair, today I don't want to be black.
Yeah.
You know, today I don't want to talk about my sisters from another mistress and basically my brothers and look out for them and things of that nature, right? But she can pick it up, right, and drop it and then pick it up. So I really don't understand. And maybe Sarah could come in the comments and explain to me. You said no at the altar. You gave this whole performance of why you said no because of social issues, BLM, anti-vaccine, the stance with the church, just for y'all to make plans for him to come down to Nashville with you. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
And for him to sit up there and be like, I'd love to work it out. And she said, we'll see about that.
We'll see about that. Why? Why? And now this is what happens when you use these buzzwords and dog whistling. Now, guess what? Now, this is not right. I am not calling for anybody's. I'm all for people's safety and things like that because people going in on Sarah, right? You got one side of you got one side of the world, I think the conservatives rather, now they using microaggression words toward you, calling you woke. And we know what that word means. We actually know what they mean with that. And now the liberals is not really banging with you because they like, you flip-floppy. So now my only thing that Sarah would say, hey, Sarah, whatever your beliefs is, even if it's people-pleasing or whatever it is, just stand on your beliefs. I think we having a problem this season when it comes to people actually saying what they believe. Ben knows what his church stands for. Majority of churches feel the same way. Now, I will say this, though. Let me give a little bail out of jail. There are some specific churches whose objective is to specifically preach against gay marriage and things of that nature, to basically make gay people an enemy of the church, right? And majority of other churches don't have the rainbow flag in there. Majority of churches really don't talk about gay marriage really in their everyday Sunday services. Ben, you knew what your church stood for. Say it. Say it. Like, but the whole fact that he's coming off as disingenuous is like, we already knew what type of person you were and things like that. And Sarah, I wish you could just stand on your square, whatever square it is.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
She over here hopscotching.
Hopscotching all over the social issues. You get what I'm saying? Hopscotching.
So we get to Monica and Joey.
Yes.
Monica never told Joey I love you. He never said it to her either. Monica said that she wasn't shown the I love you either. You shouldn't have to tell your fiance to touch you and be beside you.
That's
it was
fair.
Degrading. Looking back, it was a slap in the face and embarrassing. He wasn't interested in her romantically. Joey admits that they couldn't get out of the friend zone, and a big reason he felt like was her sister. Family is a big thing for him, and him not being accepted did take a toll on him. Nick says, you're blaming the issue of basically why you couldn't elevate your relationship on the sister.
Yeah.
Maybe the sister saw the lack of commitment, and that is what sparked her issues with mistrusting you. Joey thought that he was transparent about his feelings with Monica. He always said that he would wait until the end to share his decision. He was just gathering information.
Okay.
Monica says that he's jumping around, laughing and joking. She wanted to shake herself, tell herself that he is not interested. She found out a lot within the past year. Sorry about that, y'all. When they all went to the tubing place the next day, he apparently, after that, slid into one of the other cast members' DMs, someone that he had a connection with before, and she feels like she should have walked away after that if she would have known. Joey reached out to Madison, and he told her that he loved the pink hair, wished that they could have talked more. Joey can see that he was probably being a little too friendly. Monica and Joey were physical. There's a discrepancy on if it was once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
Joey told Monica that Madison was coming on to him. When Monica confronted Madison about it, Madison said that she did not try to come on to Joey.
Yeah.
Madison says that she always felt like Joey was just going to stay at the friend level. Joey doesn't know why Madison was on Monica's radar. He feels like Monica brought it up.
Yeah.
Monica is like, he's the one who brought it up. I wouldn't even think of Madison. Madison confronted Joey. Apparently Molly was there, and Joey said something along the lines of, oh, if I did, bring you up in conversation or said that you were trying to holler at me, maybe it was a joke.
Madison is an everybody mess apparently, but
She is,
but I
yeah.
will say this though, Joey, don't try to make it seem like you're better than Madison now. Stop it. I saw you skateboard on stage as a grown man. I wish I could take credit for remember what I said in the early episode? I think in the first episode I said do not marry Joey, right?
Yeah.
But my reasons was wrong, right? My destination was right. So instead of getting half credit, can y'all give me 33% at least? Give me 1/3, right? Here's the thing about it. Monica, I know what you feel in the sense of like, man, you have that hating sibling and you just don't want to prove them right. And I know Monica's sister sitting there like, told you, right? And here's the thing, Joey, you know you was wrong. You know you wasn't really feeling Monica. And I think Monica had a feeling about it too, even inside. And maybe during the tubing, she was trying to give him a hint of, hey, I see all these other couples who probably wasn't doing good anyway. They are at least doing more than what you're doing. You're not doing anything. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of sad to see it, but Joey looked very, very wrong in the light. I would say out of all the couples that got married or didn't get married, they kind of surprised me, especially for these reasons right here.
I was very surprised because I didn't see the disrespect on camera that Monica's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if her sister is probably pointing things out to her.
For sure.
And like critiquing certain situations and putting in her head that he was more disrespectful than he was.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, it seemed like they had great chemistry. I felt like they were right on each other's level.
Yeah.
Anything more when it comes to the physicality, we weren't privy to that. The only thing they told us is that Monica asked for more and he said that he was working on it and she said he was improving. So I'm just kind of like, what she's saying that she saw is not what I saw. So I'm thinking that someone is chattering in her ear and changing the actual lens of what is being shown. Because did you feel like he was?
No,
I didn't see it
that's
that
why
way.
I was shocked for this reason. Because I was like, Joey did not come off as if, like, Joey came off as a douchebag more in the reunion,
for sure,
than in the whole season of that, like we saw. So
and
that's
I
why I was
tell whether he was into her or not. I thought he was into her.
Yeah, but I will say this though: there's no reason why you should reach out to Madison, and not even because of Madison. You reached out to her to tell her the day after you saw her that you like the pink hair,
and his reason was because I like to reach out and check on people.
Why?
No.
First of all,
you're trying to play the field.
First of all, you saw her yesterday. Why didn't you tell her in person you like the pink hair?
Yeah.
Why are you reaching out to a DM? So that's why I'm like, yeah, you came off more as a douchebag in the reunion than I saw personally on the show. That's why I was surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on, Lauren and Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Dave said that his sister's biggest concern is that she didn't want him shown in a bad light, which
oh my gosh,
he pretty much was. Sis feels bad that Lauren was hurt, though.
Yeah.
Lauren gained more clarity watching it back. She feels like she was more emotionally mature than him.
Don't think that, sister girl.
Dave talks about how he and Lauren have been talking a lot for the past 2 weeks. Probably in preparation for the reunion.
Of course.
Just so he could say that.
Of course.
Lauren said that he sent her a kind text a couple of weeks ago about clarity about the other guy. Basically saying that he learned more about that guy and how the guy was just trying to get on for clout. He can see that he didn't have Lauren's back the way that the other couples did.
Yeah.
Lauren felt like she knew Dave well, and he chose to believe everyone except his fiance. The question was asked, did you believe them over her, or were you looking for an out? Dave said that he was not looking for an out, and he does love Lauren.
Stop.
Everyone agrees that you can have a booty call and meet the love of your life the next day.
Okay.
Dave regrets believing that guy and feels like Lauren is the one that got away. Lauren doesn't believe it because you've been had my number. We've been at bars where we've seen each other and did not speak.
Facts.
Nick says, so, she couldn't like meet your family. And Dave says that they didn't want to meet her. He eventually gave his sister the letter Lauren wrote. Lauren calls BS because I gave you the letter. You went out to eat with your sister. The letter was still in your coat pocket.
This guy just
He said after that, at some point I did give it to her and she really didn't have a response. He's lying.
Listen here. Hold on. Before we go on, Lauren, count your blessings.
Yeah.
Do not think that you are more emotionally mature than him. Know that you are definitely more emotionally mature than him. You've been telling him the truth the whole time. Just for him to finally get clarity, finally find out that this guy out here making trailers and things of that nature on TikTok, trying to basically get on for clout. And from what I was told by the castmates, that they warn y'all about this type of stuff. About, hey, some people may be coming out of the woodworks once they find out you're on the show and you are engaged. But you over here talking about my sister said, mind you, we still haven't met the sister. I don't even know the sister name. You get what I'm saying? And whole time just to go through all of this just to prove that Lauren was right all along? Count your blessings, Lauren. Count your blessings.
Yeah, Lauren thinks that he has a lot of growing to do, but she does not think he's a narcissist. She wants people to stand down, okay?
No, I never called him a narcissist. I did call him special, though. I do think he is, he do need a little more assistance in life than most. Do you get what I'm saying?
Molly said that it was hard watching some of the lies that he said because he did say she was his number one on multiple dates. Yeah. Dave's friends should have met Lauren and he should have tried harder. Yeah, I think this storyline, I feel like it's been like dragged as the main storyline throughout the whole season. So we all now know that Lauren was telling the truth, which we all believed in the first place. And Dave finally caught on. And I don't believe anything he says about Lauren being the one that got away. I think he's back to enjoying his life. And, he said he liked the girls with the plastic surgery. So, he's back to doing whatever the hell it is he does.
Hey, Minnesota, are these young guys? I don't believe it. We don't believe anything that came out of Devon's mouth. We don't believe anything that came out of, definitely not Ben's mouth. We don't believe none that came out of Joey's mouth. We don't believe none that came out of David's mouth.
But I think that's also, like, I've talked about it in other shows we've done. I think it's a sign of the times with reality TV. Yeah. People are just very hyper aware of how they're coming across, and they want to appear to be peaceful and not to rock the boat. And as you can see, all throughout, the guys are like, well, I don't have any resentment with you. I don't have an issue with you. Like, I think that we're great, and, you're a great person, and I really do love you. And, that can all be fine and true. But the thing is, like, you guys, a lot of you guys did not end on good terms. Yeah. And the relationships were not great. But I also think that when it comes to it, I think that people are looking for other opportunities. Yeah. They're looking for other opportunities in the Netflix world, just like we see AD and Ollie went on The Perfect Match, as well as other people. Like, a lot of people want to make this their career, so they want to appear a certain way.
And guess what? They need to have somebody who oversees these shows and make a sound judgment on, what, David? Because of how you handle this process, we're going to make sure that we're going to eject you from the Love is Blind universe.
But what's crazy is that, people want villains. They want villains on other shows.
David's not a villain. I would say Madison is more of a villain than David is. David's just special. You get what I'm saying? David talked about his sister more than anything, right? David talked about how, I guess after I got more clarity from the guy, I realized that you were telling the truth, Lauren. It's like you could have got that if you just would have met with everybody. Right. Like you literally could have just met with everybody. So no, eject David from the whole universe. David, you got to clock back into your 9 to 5. You will not be on another Love is Blind. You won't go to any other trips. You won't be on Perfect Match. We will forget that you exist when it comes to the whole Netflix Love is Blind universe. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we see Mason and Meg's at-home reveal. Apparently they're best friends now. The dating thing did not work out. Madison says that Alex told her that Meg and Mason were dating. She is happy for them. They made a better match, but the way that Alex told it, he was being a little bit shady in the text. Alex said that Madison was very different when it came to how she approached her dates with Mason and himself. Okay. Mason said that Madison kept validating their relationship and he should have validated the relationship with Meg more. Madison explains her relationships were different with both of them in the pods, and things just quickly change in the pods when it comes to who's your number one. Okay. Meg addresses Madison and says, "You called Mason manipulative in an interview." Madison said that she was trying to bring up her relationship, that Alex was, a better partner for her. He committed to her, or Mason committed to her, and then he continued on with Meg. She was pushing for honesty more so for Meg than for herself.
Stop.
She felt manipulated. Madison was trying to give him an out to say that he had a better connection elsewhere. Apparently, Mason apologized to Madison at a bar, but she went out of her way to meet him at the bar because she wanted to talk to him. He said that he apologized for not seeing her red flags and addressing them.
Oh, boy.
Meg got screwed over by Mason and Madison. She says, "Why is Madison so upset and coming for Mason when you had no intentions of being with him?"
That's facts.
Madison says that it's not fair for you to speak on my feelings. I had genuine feelings for Mason. Alex thought Madison was manipulative. She was too harsh on Mason. He's a genuine guy, and he doesn't see why she was so upset when I was the person that you wanted to be with at the end of the day. Madison says that Alex didn't validate her feelings. Alex was different on and off camera. He begged her to stay in LA, talked about how he regretted his decision. Madison says Alex said that Mason was weird and he didn't have any friends. Alex says he didn't say that. Meg pulls out the screenshots. Alex said, "I told you a lot of stuff in confidence. I'll go back to saying only nice things about people." Then Meg says Madison said that she broke up with Alex, and we all saw how, all that went with basically Alex broke up with you.
Why do we care about these losers' story?
I don't know. I wish we could have asked more questions about the main cast.
On. Circle it back to Devon and Virginia. Did you give back the check?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Hey, listen here. The whole point is this, though. Madison, you did sabotage it. Meg brought up a good point. She said straight up, hey, you was manipulative because you told us that your number one was Alex. So what did Mason have to do with anything with you? And my whole thing is true. But at the end of the day, none of y'all got chosen and things of that nature. I think Mason and Meg, I think you said they not even together.
Right.
So it's like, let bygones be bygones. Loose me. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Let me go from this drama.
And I was just, sorry, go ahead.
No, and this whole pulling out screenshots and things of that nature, we don't care. Keep the screenshots. There should be a rule. They should pat down the contestants to make sure they don't bring nothing on the stage no more, because now everybody want to be the prop king or like the prop queen. Leave it all alone. Your story don't matter. Madison, Mason, Meg, everybody who wasn't Alex, everybody who wasn't chosen to be on the show. You get what I'm saying? I really want to know what happened with Brittany when she got engaged with that guy and they didn't choose them.
Right. And then the other black girl that apparently got engaged and didn't get picked. They didn't follow that. But anyway, about them and whatever situation they got going on. Number one, I thought we didn't bring extras to the stage until it was time to talk about the extras.
Come on.
Because usually we keep the main people. They was up there the whole time. I'm just kind of like, okay. But about the whole quadruple, whatever kind of situation that they got going on, honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, let's move on.
I really don't care. So Daniel's mom was diagnosed with leukemia.
Prayers.
Daniel's dad was staying with Taylor's brother, which was close to the hospital, so he could get to his wife easier. They also just bought their first home.
Congratulations. Prayer to your mom. Hopefully everything worked out for you. Daniel, right?
Yeah, and I thought it was just beautiful how that worked out. I mean, they came together, met each other. His mom got this diagnosis, and now their family is able to support each other through this time. And that's the type of stuff I like to see.
Yeah.
So we get to the sock bin challenge, and then we get to the fam jam, and we find out Ollie proposed to AD. She said yes. I really don't know why they wanted to tell us this now, because they're going to be on the perfect match.
That's what I'm saying.
And then he proposed, and I'm just like, okay, so they end up together. But then they're like, did you guys win the perfect match? But they can't say. So I'm just kind of like, that was dumb to me, because when they said they were on the perfect match and he proposed, I was like, so is the perfect, did I miss a season of the perfect match? And it's just like, no, they just ruined it.
I miss all the seasons. I'm not watching the perfect match. Listen here.
Yeah.
I'll say this, right? Y'all got 8 seasons in 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whichever it is. Listen here. Y'all had a dud. Go back to the drawing board. Maybe try not to put out 2 a year. Maybe not 3 a year, whatever it is. Fall back, right? And see what you can do with the whole social media and reality TV thing when it comes to y'all show. Because you have people who's trying to produce. There's no way Ben should be calling Jimmy talking about, hey, we need to rehearse our lines and things like that. What make you think that after the show that you are going to get sponsorship deals and things of that nature? Mind you, the people who Love is Blind the people who watch Love Is Blind, they champion the people who get married and stay married. And I think the couple name is Lauren and Cam, I think it is, right? And they want nothing to do with Love Is Blind. So the whole thing about it is that you think that you can save face. You only save face by being a successful couple that get married on Love Is Blind. You don't save face by not getting married but still trying to play nice on the reunion. So it's like it's just stupid. You get what I'm saying?
And that's all we got.
That's all. Listen here. Take away the unforgettable moments. Take away the solo. Take away the sock bin. Ask more questions. That's all I got to say.
Bye.